and welcome to this special presentation on DD India on India AI Impact Summit 2026. The Global Artificial Intelligence Summit kicks off in New Delhi today with big issues on the agenda. The 5-day summit is set to be the biggest global AI summit being hosted in the global south. World leaders from 20 nations are scheduled to attend the event. These include President of France Emmanuel Macron, Brazil President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, among others. We all know artificial intelligence, AI, stands at the threshold of fundamentally reshaping human civilization, pushing the boundaries of what we can achieve. So the next 5 days will see global tech firms, startups, academia, research institutions, union ministers, state governments and international partners to declare a shared roadmap for global AI governance and collaboration for global good. So New Delhi becomes the epicenter of global artificial intelligence dialogue as India hosts the 5-day India AI Impact Summit 2026 at the Bharat Mandapam from today. The formal opening ceremony will be led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday, that is 19th of February. Overall, the summit is set to bring together some of the most powerful voices in global governance, technology policy and innovation under one roof, making it a landmark moment in the international AI calendar.
New Delhi is set to host the India AI Impact Summit 2026 at Bharat Mandapam from February 16th to February 20th, placing India at the center of global AI discussions. As AI transforms key sectors, the summit positions India as a leading voice on governance and democratization. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the event with leaders including French President Emmanuel Macron and Brazil's President Lula da Silva attending the summit.
The summit itself is proving to be a very large event. We are expecting about at least 20 heads of state and heads of government. We are expecting leaders of about 7 or 8 international organizations, including the United Nations Secretary General. We are expecting ministers from about 45 countries and in addition representations all put together of close to 100 countries. In addition, we are expecting close to about 100 CEOs of important companies across the world and many other academicians and researchers and experts in the area of AI, including 2 Nobel laureates.
Moving beyond safety debates in earlier global meets, India's summit focuses on real-world impact, people, planet, and progress. Backed by the India AI mission, the aim is to show how AI can power inclusive growth, support farmers and businesses, and prepare youth for future jobs.
I think the key message that we want to send is that whatever happens with AI needs to be human-centric and inclusive. There needs to be democratic access to AI resources, and it needs to be done in a way that people and humans are in the center of this process. Moreover, I think we need to look at it as a huge positive impetus to the overall economy and the possibility of using AI or possibility of leveraging this technology to see growth across the world, across every part of the world, including India, including the rest of the global south.
Global tech leaders, including Microsoft President Brad Smith and Google DeepMind CEO Demis Hassabis, will participate, alongside representatives from OpenAI and Anthropic. Working groups will present proposals on AI commons and shared infrastructure. India will spotlight its push for sovereign AI, including indigenous language models and strategic sector applications. The summit seeks consensus on responsible and inclusive AI development.
So today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the India AI Impact Expo 2026 at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. The India AI Impact Expo 2026 will be held alongside the India AI Impact Summit at Bharat Mandapam, spread across 10 arenas, covering more than 70,000 square meters. The expo will bring together global tech firms, startups, academia and research institutions, union ministries, state governments and international partners. The expo will feature 13 country pavilions, including those from Australia, Japan, Russia and the UK. The expo will host over 300 curated exhibition pavilions and live demonstrations structured across 3 thematic chakras. These chakras are people, planet and progress. In addition, the expo will feature over 600 high-potential startups, many of them building globally relevant and population-scale solutions. Welcoming people coming from all over the world to India for the India AI Impact Summit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on social media platform X expressed pride over the summit. He said the summit shows the capability of country's youth. This occasion is further proof that our country is progressing rapidly in the field of science and technology and is making an important contribution to global development. So in a series of posts on social media platform X, Prime Minister Narendra Modi wrote, and I quote him here, bringing the world together to discuss AI. Starting today, India hosts the AI Impact Summit at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. I warmly welcome world leaders, captains of industry, innovators, policymakers, researchers, and tech enthusiasts from across the world for this summit. The theme of the summit is Sarvajan Hitai, Sarvajan Sukhai, or welfare for all, happiness for all, reflecting our shared commitment to harnessing artificial intelligence for human-centric progress. AI today is transforming several sectors, including healthcare, education, agriculture, governance and enterprise. The AI Impact Summit will enrich global discourse on diverse aspects of AI, such as innovation, collaboration, responsible use, and more. I'm confident that the outcomes of the summit will help shape a future that is progressive, innovative, and opportunity-driven. Thanks to the 1.4 billion people of India, our nation stands at the forefront of the AI transformation. From digital public infrastructure to a vibrant startup ecosystem and cutting-edge research, our strides in AI reflect both ambition and responsibility. Unquote. Standing at the center of global stage, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on February 13th said that despite a decade marked by global disruptions, India has emerged stronger and is poised to become the world's 3rd largest economy. Prime Minister Modi also stressed on disruptions related to AI. Listen in.
दुनिया को अब डिसरप्शन के साथ जीने के लिए तैयार रहना होगा। समय के साथ इनके नेचर में बदलाव आएगा, लेकिन ये तय है कि अब व्यवस्थाएं बहुत तेजी से बदलेगी। एआई से जो डिसरप्शन हो रहे हैं वो तो आप देख ही रहे हैं। आने वाले समय में एआई और भी क्रांतिकारी बदलाव लेकर आने वाली है। भारत इसके लिए भी तैयार है।
DD India correspondent Akshay Dongre joins us from Bharat Mandapam, the venue for the India AI Impact Summit. Akshay, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the 5-day AI Impact Summit on Thursday, but he will inaugurate the Expo, AI Impact Summit Expo this evening. Give us a sense of the participation, the vibe there, also a sense of international participation.
Well, I'll come to the second point. The vibe here, Tanvi, it's as you say in Gen Z language, it's quite lit. And let me ask my camera person Aniket to show you around the hall where I am right now. And there are multiple such halls where people are swarming from different organizations, different universities, students coming in, professors. tech experts, different associations who are here. Foreign participation is also vast. There are 13 pavilions that are dedicated to 13 countries who will be exhibiting their own AI expertise, their own AI products. And there are multiple pavilions for Indian states as well who are doing their respective work in the AI domain. So Prime Minister Modi is going to inaugurate the expo and inaugurate this event, kick-starting it at 5 p.m. today. But before that as well, people have started to come in large numbers, different organizations, different groups who are present here as far as their stakes in artificial intelligence is concerned, along with the global participation that we are seeing. So over 200,000 registrations have already taken place, and many of these are students, people in the tech industry, different industries who are joining. In fact, I have a guest here with me, Mr. V. Narayanan, who is from the Association of Certified Chartered Accountants with me, and let's speak to him and understand the sort of excitement that is here and the stakes that every industry probably has in this AI revolution. Sir, thank you so much for speaking with us. Speaking about your sector, how do you think artificial intelligence is going to, revolutionize the chartered accountants and the way they work, the way we see the field? So, what do you have to say, and what stakes do you have in this?
Sure. So, first of all, ACCA is a global accountancy and finance body. So, we're really delighted to be here in this global conference here in Delhi. We think that the impact on the profession is multiple-fold. There are huge opportunities in terms of areas like assurance and in terms of areas like trustworthy and responsible AI, which is a key chakra in the conference here. And I think the accountancy and finance professionals can play a huge role in helping make AI safer. There are obviously aspects in terms of the impact of AI on accounting workflows, but the reality is that we see that as a mixed impact, where the human in the loop aspect also continues to be a key part of it, including for establishing ethical and trustworthy practices.
Let me ask you a sort of a different question, and that has been on everyone's mind, perhaps the coming of AI and the role of humans, and especially when we talk about the chartered accountants and accountant work. How do you think AI is going to change that? Because there have been fears that coming of AI will reduce human importance rather in work. But how do you see AI's intervention here in your field? And do you think that it is actually going to help people work less? What is it going to be like as far as future?
Yeah. So as I said, ACCA, because it's a global accounting body and we operate in 180 countries, so we are able to see India in that context, and I think India is very rich with human capital, and there is a huge need to be able to understand how to get the value from an AI system. You cannot just leave it completely on its own in terms of being able to derive value and being able to scale it in a responsible and safe manner. So there's ethical judgment, there's business judgment. And at the moment, what we see is very much that there is a huge role for professionals who can understand technology, how it works, but understand how to combine that with people and processes to get real organizational enterprise-wide impact.
Thank you so much, sir. So there you heard we had an expert coming in and speaking to us about the sort of AI revolution that's taking place, Tanvi. It's actually a great gathering here. Different countries, different experts, different sectors, all joining in at the same spot. Exchanging ideas, discussing the future of their respective fields as far as artificial intelligence is concerned, the intervention of artificial intelligence in the way we see the world today, we see the work today, and how we sort of are going to be as a society in the near future as well.
Indeed, Akshay, I'm sure the conversations and deliberations are just warming up now as we are on day one of the India AI Impact Summit. Request you to be with us as we bring in more analysis into the program. New Delhi is hosting India AI Impact Summit 2026. Like I told you, from 16th to 20th of February, the summit is anchored in 3 sutras: people, planet and progress. They define India's approach to cooperation on AI. Well, sutra is the Sanskrit word for a rule or a formula. The summit will bring together global leaders, policymakers, innovators, experts from across the world to deliberate on the way forward and on AI. At the invitation of Prime Minister Modi, heads of 20 countries and ministerial delegations from 45 other nations are participating in this summit. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and officials from international organizations are joining the deliberations. The summit is being positioned as the first major global AI gathering in the global south. It comes at a time when global AI ecosystems are undergoing a significant shift, while large language models have shown rapid progress. Policymakers and experts have increasingly highlighted the need for stronger data governance, diversified AI architectures, and sector-specific deployments. So the tech world and representatives from over 20 countries are attending the Mega AI India Impact Summit 2026. The week-long summit showcases India's role in global AI governance and demonstrates how India is prioritizing deployment of AI and its measurable impact on citizens, something that the world tech leaders have recognized. Let's listen in to some of the top CEOs on what they have to say on India AI Impact Summit.
India has always shown what's possible when imagination meets ambition. I commend Honorable Prime Minister Modi and the Ministry of Electronics and IT for their visionary leadership in organizing the AI Impact Summit, the first global AI summit in the Global South. It reflects our shared commitment to harnessing the transformative power of AI to drive inclusive growth, unlock human potential, and create a sustainable future.
The Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, is convening the global community through the AI Impact Summit. This initiative reflects the Government of India's commitment to ensuring that AI's next chapter is grounded in responsibility, trust, and inclusion, advancing shared progress for the Global South and across the world.
Around the world at the India AI Summit, especially at this time when the Global South has such an important role to play in shaping AI's future. Thank you to Prime Minister Modi and the entire government and all of the leaders who are participating. AI will define the next decade, changing how people work, how economies grow, and how societies thrive.
For India, Edge AI has unique potential, enabling real-time insights and driving scalable progress across agriculture, healthcare, education, and digital services, ensuring AI innovation benefits everyone, everywhere.
I've been a tech entrepreneur all my life, and I've never seen technology like AI before. We've seen the internet, we've seen the cloud, we've seen mobile, but AI is more than just transformation. It is going to change the way humans live. India has a pivotal role in this process. With its digital infrastructure, the enormous human talent, and a supportive government, it's going to provide AI to the entire world as time develops.
AI Summit in India is going to be a really exciting opportunity to talk about the benefits of AI. AI is such a transformational opportunity, especially for the bottom half of the population that has very little access to the knowledge economy. It will be most helpful to them and provide them services like healthcare services, education, other things at their level in their language. So it's such a large opportunity.
United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, also attending the summit, said that India is the right place to host the first ever AI summit in the Global South. Speaking ahead of the AI Impact Summit, Guterres said artificial intelligence must serve the entire world and not just a handful of powerful nations.
I strongly congratulate India for organizing this summit. It's absolutely essential that AI develops itself to the benefit of everybody, everywhere. And that countries in the Global South are part of the benefits of AI. India is the right place to have this summit and to make sure that AI being discussed in depth in all its potential, enormous potential, and also in all its risks, but that AI is belongs to the whole world.
And now let's bring in some analysis into the show. We are joined by Dr. Mausam, Head Yardi School of AI, Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Delhi. Dr. Mausam specializes in artificial intelligence, machine learning and natural language processing models. We also have with us in the studio Arastu Sharma, founder Show the AI. Show the AI, relatively new Indian AI research innovation company, provides customized deployable AI models for businesses. So let me get in Dr. Mausam first. As India hosts the AI Impact Summit in Delhi, what does this moment signal about India's global AI ambitions?
Thank you very much for having me in the show. Yes, absolutely. It signals that India is now at the forefront of AI. Not only does it go and join other people in AI discussions, it now invites other people to come onto the table and takes the leadership. This is the time that the showcase is on Global South, and India is the right country to lead the Global South. So I am really excited at all the amazing people that are coming together over these 5 days. I actually do not remember any other event where people like Bill Gates, Nandan Nilekani, Terrio Amodei, Yoshua Bengio, Nobel laureates, Demis Hassabis, all of these people came together under a single roof at an event that was open to public to witness. I think we will be witnessing a spectacle, and it is really befitting that India is taking more and more leadership in the field of AI.
Okay, let me bring in Arastu now. Arastu, you are the founder of Show the AI, a relatively new Indian company in research, AI research innovation. How do you see this event where India is positioning itself in the global AI race, perhaps aiming to be better than US, China one day?
Yeah, so I'd like to quote Prime Minister. So we were invited to meet him, and he had mentioned that the whole point of the summit is to put ourselves shoulder to shoulder to the countries who are claiming to be ahead of AI, and India is really saying here that we are there where you are. We have the data. We are the people who are creating the most data in the world. We are the people who
are consuming the most data.
Consuming as well as creating, because AI takes the data. It takes the data and then AI is created, right? So
yes.
India is making the data. We are the biggest internet users in the world. So itself, the point was that we must use our own data, create the AI for ourselves, and position ourselves as one of the leaders in AI. And the really good point here is that AI has just started. AI race has just started. Language and code are the starting points. We'll be going towards biology, AI in material science, AI in discovery, and there's a lot of things to come. So if India has started to do this at the right point, in the next 5 years, we might be the leading country in a lot of areas.
Okay, that's really a great thought to begin the program here. Let me bring in Dr. Mausam again. So in a major endorsement of India's growing role in artificial intelligence, Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, has described India as a potential full-stack AI leader. Now, in a media article, Altman said that India has become OpenAI's second largest user base globally after the United States. How big is this?
I mean, that does not surprise me, the fact that India has become the largest mobile user base of OpenAI and second largest user base of OpenAI. We have a lot of people who are very, very tech savvy. And so it is very natural that we would start using whatever technological disruptions happen. That doesn't surprise me. I think Sam Altman, if he feels that India would have the capabilities of full stack AI, there is nothing to doubt there. I think we can have those capabilities. The real question is, how fast are we moving towards that vision? I feel that we can do more, but that is the kind of discussion. Maybe we will spur our speed based on the discussion that happens in this event.
Okay, so with India's digital backbone like Unique Identification Authority of India, Aadhaar and UPI, does India have a unique AI advantage, Dr. Mausam?
Yes, we do have an advantage. So the advantage is the scale. I think if I think about the specific strength that India brings, it is often not the first technology, it is not the first innovation, because that first innovation is generally very, very expensive. And because of that, it takes, maybe other countries who have more flush with funding go there first. We are much better at two things. We are much better at making them efficient. For example, Chandrayaan is a prime example of the fact that other countries went to the moon, and then we went, and we were much cheaper and much more cost efficient, and because of all the research done in the country. In the same way, in the field of AI, we will hopefully get there with more cost efficiency, which is going to be incredibly important for the future, and we can talk more about this. And second, we would be the right place to test the applicability at large scale, because you can test it in first world countries where there are a smaller number of people and limited number of challenges. But India gives you all countries of the world in one. We have the first world and the second world and the third world and the below poverty, and we will be able to showcase the value of AI in all these strata of the society, giving value of inclusiveness and value to everyone, and we'll have to do it at cost efficiency. So that is our edge. Our edge is the humongous scale at which we need to make anything successful, and I think that would be very critical as AI moves forward.
Okay. Arastu, your take on where India stands today in the field of artificial intelligence. What are the possibilities here? Is this India's ChatGPT moment, if I could say that, or are we still in an experimental phase?
I would say that we are not fighting them on the ChatGPT right now. So the current problem to solve in India, which companies like Servam and Gyani are doing, which is to build the small language models for the Indian public, which is we want models for our languages, models that can be used for, like my driver is not able to understand English, so he cannot navigate with Google Maps. So we need people and applications that are built on Indian languages. So that's the first point to solve. But in the next few years, we have built the infra for it. So we have around 30,000 GPUs, which is the starting capex. And we are trying to go towards 1 lakh to 2 lakh GPUs. That's what the India AI mission's aim is. So if we are able to build that capability,
for the next 5 years?
Exactly. In the next 2-3 years, they're saying, but in the next 5 years, even if we get there and you have 2 lakh GPUs, then it's basically just about, then there's no limitation for it. We will be able to build anything that they can build. We will be able to fight them on the AI races that are coming next. So the point right now is to build the capital and the infrastructure around it, which we've started to do, and at the right time.
Through India AI mission.
Through India AI mission. So in the next 1 or 2 years, we'll be able to get to the point where we can build our own ChatGPTs, or even areas to target, like Ashwini Vaishnav recently mentioned, that you don't really need to compete on language and code only. You also need to compete on SLMs, so small language models, on specific models. So build models for biology, build models for physics, build models for areas that will come to race in the future, build our own patents and IPs. So that's the next race, and that's coming because we've built our capital.
How long do you see? By when will we have these separate sector-specific models?
So it has actually started, like across the world, it has started right now only. And even US is not that far ahead from us in biology and in material science. So I would say in the next 2 years, you'd start to see that within 6 months, we're starting to make new batteries. From like lithium ion to you'll have sodium batteries. You would have solved, maybe made like an alternative to rare earth metals, and you'll have some sort of an alloy that's used instead of that. You would have things coming very, very fast. You would have solved healthcare in next 5 years. You'll have new drugs coming in 6 months. So we have to fight in that race, and India will fight it. We see the the motivation and the opportunity that we've taken here, and we're pushing forward. But we all have to work hard on it. It's on entrepreneurs. Government has done enough, and they have promised that they'll be building the capacity for it. So if they do their part, it's on the entrepreneurs and the scientists to take it ahead and fight US and China and Europe where they are, and maybe get ahead of them.
Okay. As I take this conversation forward, India is increasingly leveraging artificial intelligence to address its high vulnerability to climate change, moving from reactive, data-dependent and slow-moving responses to proactive, anticipatory and real-time strategies. Our correspondent Tapas Bhattacharya reports.
As climate change intensifies, India is turning to artificial intelligence as a powerful tool to strengthen climate action, resilience, and sustainable development. India is among the world's most climate vulnerable countries, Over 85% of its population is exposed to extreme weather risk. Traditionally, climate response relied on historical data and delayed action. Today, AI is helping India move from reaction to anticipation.
AI today can be leveraged to actually identify from geospatial data, from satellite data, which are the areas where we are going to see more extreme climate events, whether it is extreme heat stresses, whether it is flood events, whether it is droughts in the future. As the climate changes, we are going to see more extreme heat impacts. And so that we can start planning for those right from today. If you need to change our cropping system, if you need to evolve our, let's say, infrastructure design of our cities to reduce heat stress, all of that is today possible with AI.
Using machine learning, satellite imagery, and high-resolution climate models, agencies like Indian Meteorological Department have significantly improved the accuracy of cyclone, flood, and heat wave forecast. These advances have helped reduce cyclone-related fatalities by over 90% since 1990s, an achievement now studied globally as a model for disaster risk reduction. AI-enabled forecasting and smart grid system predicts solar and wind generation, balance electricity demand, and reduce transmission losses. These technologies are crucial to India's commitment of achieving net zero emission by 2070. AI is also strengthening environmental protection. Satellite-based analytics monitor forest cover across 7.1 lakh square kilometers, enabling near real-time detection of deforestation, forest fires, and illegal mining. Along India's 7,500-kilometer coastline, AI model assess sea level rise, shoreline erosion, and cyclone risk, helping coastal communities prepare for a future shaped by climate uncertainty. In cities, AI platforms map air pollution, predict heat stress, and support climate action plans in urban centers facing rising temperatures and declining air quality.
From saving lives through early warnings to securing farms, forests, and clean energy, artificial intelligence is powering India's climate fight, transforming data into action and resilience for the future. With camera person Mukesh, this is Tapash Bhattacharya for DD India from Delhi.
And let's now connect with Tapas Bhattacharya joining us from the Bharat Mandapam, the venue of the India AI Impact Summit. Tapas, India's AI Impact Summit has received a phenomenal response in terms of registrations, over 200,000 from across the world. What is on the agenda for perhaps transforming the global AI ecosystem?
So, Tanvi, anything and everything that can be done or that can be discussed will be discussed in this edition of the AI Summit in Delhi. In fact, the theme of this year's AI Summit was Sarvajana Hitaya, Sarvajan Sukhaya, that is welfare for all and happiness for all. What it translates in AI is that AI should be for all. It should not be used by some country or some people for their own benefit, but the benefit should percolate down to the common man. It should benefit all those people who have who could be benefited from that. For this simple reason, India is a country where you have more than 18 languages, you have many dialects. AI can actually help in bridging that gap from down south to north or from east to west, where you can probably speak in Hindi, that it will be translated in different languages. Then we have a generative AI. There is a different kind of AI model that is coming up, which is expected to help in our broadcast medium. At the same time, AI is also being used as you saw in that particular story that I filed in terms of disaster mitigation. So each and every aspect of human life will now be impacted, will now be affected by AI. And what a way to start this AI summit by democratizing the impact, the usage of AI for the common people. You, me, each and every person can take the help of AI. Just imagine people staying in northeast, people staying in places where roads are not there, the connectivity is an issue. Drones can be chipped in. AI bots can be used to provide a medical facility. All these can be done if we can take the AI summit in its all earnest. And probably in the next 5 or 10 years, we will see a major leap in that regard.
Okay, Tapas, we'll come back to you as the sessions are ongoing at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. Let me quickly get in a word from Dr. Mausam, Head, Yardi School of AI, Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Delhi. Sir, are our universities and institutions adapting fast enough to adapt AI? How can AI be integrated into public education without deepening the digital divide?
That's a fantastic question. I think the academia is responding. We now have undergraduate programs in AI. We now have postgraduate programs in AI. We now have PhD in AI. In fact, even at IIT Delhi, Yardi School of AI invites students to do a master's as well as a PhD in AI. And we also allow students who may not even have computer science background to do AI. This is because AI is now touching every discipline. And it is important that we understand that the future is going to be interdisciplinary. Even Arastu talked about, AI and science, right? That kind of scientific discovery with AI can only happen if a student understands both science and AI, not just only AI and not just only science. And therefore, students who have done undergrad in one discipline, if they do a master's in AI, they get that overarching understanding of this intersection and can really innovate.
Very quickly, sir, should coding and AI literacy become mandatory at the school level, according to you?
I am not sure if coding needs to be mandatory. And the reason is that, first of all, coding is a very logical activity. And we know that a lot of students hate math. And so there are different types of students who are more analytical thinkers and students who are more creative and more, artistic and so on and so forth. I think coding literacy is going to be paramount for people who are analytical thinkers. Moreover, there is the second point that AI is now democratizing coding also. As you may know, that there is this concept of vibe coding where you don't really code, you ask AI to generate the code based on the requirements that you provide. And this actually allows anybody who may not even have learned coding to make some progress. So yes, if you could learn to read some code, it would help you. There is no doubt about it. But I would not go as far as saying that everybody in the world should learn coding, because that will be a stretch.
Okay, let me bring in my correspondent here again. Let's tell our viewers that leaders from Bolivia, Croatia, Estonia, Finland, Greece, Guyana, Kazakhstan, Liechtenstein, Serbia, Slovakia are participating in this event. And of course, there are ministerial delegations from over 45 countries. And Akshay Dongre at the Bharat Mandapam has got a foreign dignitary with us, foreign guest, I must say. Akshay, over to you.
Well, Tanvi, when we talk about artificial intelligence, what comes to our mind usually is coding, tech, computers, RAMs, chips, etc. But we don't really think about things that it impacts, like agriculture, like food supply chain, needs of the countries in global south, developing world, underdeveloped countries, and how artificial intelligence can actually revolutionize the way we look at agriculture and the way our supply chains work. And to speak about this, we have the director of innovation, in the field of innovation from United Nations Food and Agriculture, Sir Vincent Martin with us. Sir, if we can speak about the agriculture sector, the food sector, food supply chains, especially in the developing world, the global south. How do you see AI making a change here, making an impact to our existing supply chains and the future of agriculture?
Thank you very much. We really believe in the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations that artificial intelligence can really have an impact. It's a great opportunity for improving food security in the world, and also to improve nutrition all over the world. We also think that it comes with some levels of risks. If you don't do it in a way that is inclusive, if you don't use the right data, and if you don't bring around the table all the necessary stakeholders and partners, including farmers, who are the beneficiaries, who should be the beneficiaries of using this type of technologies. Very concretely, in the field of agriculture, AI can help us be more efficient, to save water resources, to improve productivity, and to really accelerate research, science and research, in a way that has never been seen in the past. That is to say, something that we might have developed in 10 years. Now we can do it in a couple of months or in several years. So facing all the challenges we are seeing these days, like climate change, water scarcity, and so on and so forth, we believe that using AI and leveraging AI and digital tools can really help us to save water, to save food, and to make sure that people can have access to food in quantity and in quality. And that is why FAO has developed its own global roadmap for using artificial intelligence in the aim of transforming agri-food systems and improving food security in the world.
Thank you so much. So that was Vincent Martin, Director, Office of Innovation, United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. So clearly, the artificial intelligence impact here, not only seen on a specific sectors, but every sector that touches human life, that touches society, especially when it comes to prioritization, as Vincent Martin told us, of the resources that we have into areas where it will benefit us the most as a society. So that was our guest here, Tanvi.
All right, Akshay, thank you for joining us.
Quite a lot here.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, thank you for joining us at the moment. Let me quickly tell our viewers what's on schedule on day one of the India AI Impact Summit. As we speak, sessions are ongoing at the Bharat Mandapam. India AI Impact Build-a-thon. This is happening. This is going to happen at 12:30 hours Indian Standard Time. Then a session on trust where the AI balancing innovation and regulation follows. And then we have operationalizing open source AI pathways to sovereignty, and towards in the second half of the day, we have future of work for the global south, skilling for opportunity and social mobility. Let me bring in Arastu again here. Arastu, your Show the AI platform is also, displaying at the MeitY Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology Pavilion. Yeah. Could you talk to us more about Shod's participation and more such Indian AI companies at the pavilion?
Yeah, so we've been given a great opportunity here. So India AI Mission had chosen 12 companies to build foundational models in India. We are one of the 12 companies. So the companies who've already built small to large models will be presenting their models today to the Prime Minister in the inauguration process itself. They've been placed in the MeitY Pavilion, and inside the MeitY Pavilion, we've been told that during the inauguration, we'll be showing the demo to the Prime Minister, which is basically the launch of these demos itself. So India is launching several large and small language models during this process, and this is a way to say that we are here now and we are matching them shoulder to shoulder. So this is the start to that. And Prime Minister and today everyone, the exhibitors, everyone will be going to different booths as well. There's NVIDIA, there's Google, there's huge companies there. Like if you go there, it's a different world. I'm just coming from there itself.
Okay.
And so it's going to be a great event.
So there you heard it, viewers. It's a different world out there at the Bharat Mandapam. As Arastu is saying, we have arrived, so our models at display at the Bharat Mandapam. This expo will run for the 5 days till Friday. So let me now bring in another aspect of AI, which we are all concerned about. Yes, artificial intelligence is transforming our world at an unprecedented speed, a monumental achievement for humanity. Yet, it also brings grave risks, hyper-realistic deepfakes, automated cybercrime, disinformation, and threats to critical infrastructure. Let's take a look at this report first by Antra Sinha, and then let's speak to our guests about it.
In an era of rapid technological progress, artificial intelligence represents one of humanity's greatest achievements. But at the same time, it also harbors serious, multifaceted threats that require urgent and collective vigilance. The most pressing risks stem from malicious exploitation, which involves intentional abuse of system vulnerabilities, software weakness, or human behavior to gain unauthorized access, steal data, or cause disruption. Advanced AI enables cybercriminals to produce hyper-realistic deepfakes, launch sophisticated phishing attacks, and automate fraud, blackmail, non-consensual imagery, and disinformation campaigns. Some AI tools are already a threat to institutional trust, influencing public opinion, and has the potential of spreading misinformation worldwide at unprecedented speed. Cybersecurity is under severe strain, with reports of several instances of conventional defenses being outpaced. Today, leading assessments identify AI as the primary driver of cyber threats, tilting the balance toward attackers and risking widespread failures in critical infrastructure. In response, the Government of India, through the India AI Mission and the 2025 India AI Governance Guidelines, has taken proactive steps. This includes establishing the India AI Safety Institute for risk assessment, safety testing, and developing indigenous tools against deepfakes and bias, adopting a risk-based, innovation-friendly, light-touch approach with emphasis on accountability, content labeling, transparency, and incident reporting, and promoting ethical principles, sector collaboration, and global partnerships.
Today's systems frequently hallucinate information, and many of them deliver incorrect results. As AI tools become more automated and they can get misaligned with human values, robust governance, ethical design, and international cooperation are essential. The future of AI must be guarded by responsible stewardship that protects humanity's shared interests. This is Antara Sinha for DD India with Shambhunath Mishra.
And let me go across to Dr. Mausam for analyzing these threats, ever-growing threats of deepfakes. Dr. Mausam, deepfakes are becoming more and more sophisticated. Yes, the Government of India has made new norms just a few days ago of labeling AI-driven content on display for the content platforms. But are we prepared for this AI-driven misinformation? How do we safeguard democracy in this age of generative AI?
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. I actually even saw some news stories which said that like a Bengal girl student died by suicide after her AI-generated nude images went viral. And then there are news articles which say that, children today are having relationships with AI chatbots, and that is making them suicidal.
And so, this is a phenomena which goes across continents.
Of course, this is nothing to do with India only. I mean, this is global. Most things in AI are actually global at this point. All the issues that we would be discussing with regards to ethics and harm and potential, job loss and so on, these are all going to be global phenomena. So absolutely, we need to do something about it. Now, I want to make 2 points. We as a society in the world have, lots of countries have nuclear weapons. But these nuclear weapons haven't really destroyed, modulo 2 attacks in Japan, these haven't really destroyed societies. Because we as human race are very resilient, and we figure out mechanisms to deal with any new challenge that comes our way. And I have hope in the same humanity. So yes, attackers are going to get sophisticated. Attackers could be deepfake attackers or cybersecurity threats that your news report talked about. But now the defense also needs to be equally sophisticated. It's always a game between cat and mouse. So now the attack is going to be sophisticated because they are using AI. Well, the defense should start also using AI. So often what happens is that our law and order organizations are a little bit slow in responding, and we can't deal with that kind of complacency. So I think we need to move very fast to also create AI defense, such that when such an AI attack happens or such a deep fake happens, then the AI is able to catch it when possible. It may not be always possible. In the limit of this, the equilibrium, there may actually be a case where for some things we may not be able to say whether this is AI written or human written, whether this content is AI generated or human generated. At that point, I think the conventional sort of organizational mechanisms will need to be put in place so that the law catches people who are using AI to generate these things. Maybe most likely Instagram and Facebook would also upvote that content which is human generated. So there will come a time where human content will become more and more valuable and AI content will become sort of less important. I think we will see that society happen in a few years, and we need to be bracing for it. And the organizations which are managing these platforms, they need to really buckle up to manage it.
Okay, Rastu, is India investing enough on AI research, on bias, fairness and explainability?
So the India mission itself has as one of its missions to talk about these points. And as we've heard, India is launching AI governance policy framework within the summit itself, as what we've heard, which is there to define the parameters of bias, define the benchmarks where what India is saying, how data is to be used and not to be used. And it's coming under the Prime Minister's Science Advisors mission. So that is definitely there, but I think we do need to push this much further. Currently, this is something that is around the world, something that's still being discovered as to how to resolve this. And the Indian data itself is something that's being used by the US models highly, because we are, as I said earlier, we are one of the highest users of internet in the world, being a very large population, which does give, promote a lot of Indian biases across the globe and bring in a lot of biases because the models are built from outside, are built in the US. A lot of biases are coming towards India. So this has been a lot of focus within the India mission, as I can say, and within the framework that is coming out. But we do need to push this further, and we are not investing in it enough yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me bring in Dr. Mausam. What should be the one big outcome from this India AI Impact Summit, in your view?
I would say sensitization, without question. I think the discussion of issues from both sides, the side of what we can achieve, and I saw there are a lot of sessions on AI for various applications. For example, AI for agriculture, finance, governance, health, judicial system, road safety, law and order, education. I mean, there is a lot of deliberation that is happening with regards to how AI is going to be used and what all we could do. Just imagine there will be a doctor in every village of our country. Can we ever imagine that? Maybe we can now imagine that with AI. At the same time, there is going to be a lot of deliberation about how can we take the AI technology and make sure that it maintains the ethics of fairness, does not perpetuate gender bias, can have cultural relevance, is safe, is responsible, is towards law and social welfare. I think that deliberation is also going to be equally important. So this dialogue between what is possible and what are the challenges and how do we resolve them, and the sensitization of people at large about these issues is what I expect is going to come out of this. And I hope that more and more students, more and more people get energized to think about these issues and innovate and make India a ecosystem where there is a lot of energy and we become a powerhouse.
Okay, let me get in the final word from Arastu here. Arastu Sharma, 5 years from now, when we look at this summit, will it be a turning point or just another AI international conference?
I think it would be. This is being called one of the largest AI summits that have ever happened in the world. And I think rightly so, because what we are doing is we are bringing in our potential and the world's global potential. The global companies also see India as the place to build, the applications. But we are also saying that this is not just a place for applications, but we can build foundation models. We can build the patented technologies, the IP technologies, the knowledge technologies. And that's what we're putting here, that India is both the knowledge creator and the knowledge user. And this
the
is the
knowledge
starting
sharer,
point.
if I may, because we do share our technology. We are open to share it with the less developed countries of the global south. And that's why this conference is being pitted as the one of the first biggest global south, the summit being hosted in the global south.
That's what we always say. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yes. And that's what? Welfare for all. Welfare for happiness, welfare for all. That's the theme of this India AI Impact Summit. Sarvajan Hitai, Sarvajan Sukhai, welfare for all, happiness for all. Thank you very much, Dr. Mausam, Arastu, for sparing the time to be with us on DD India's special presentation on India AI Impact Summit. Yes, we know the guiding principles remain people, planet and progress. Very quickly, as we say goodbye to our viewers, let's take a look at how our missions and our posts conducted 80 plus events across the world as a build-up to this main event. Take a look. So India AI Impact Summit is being held in New Delhi from today. Yes, British-American computer scientist Andrew Yan Neg said that AI is the new electricity. Yes, AI is widely being regarded as transformative, electricity-like force, with experts emphasizing its potential to transform the world, augment human creativity, redefine intelligence, while simultaneously warning of risks related to misalignment and the need for ethical, human-centric deployment. We hope that this India AI Impact Summit brings responsible intelligence at the core. With that thought, we wind up this special presentation on DD India on India AI Impact Summit.